Right, Nico Williams. Let's talk a little bit about Nico Williams. Not our old Nico Williams, but the Nico Williams of Bilbao. This piece here from HITC has said, Athletic Bilbao forward Nico Williams is continuing to hold out for a big move this summer. Liverpool are amongst the Premier League clubs to have been linked with the Spanish winger, who signed a new contract in December that will tie him down at Bilbao until 2027. HITC have reported that Liverpool are in the race along with Arsenal, although Barcelona is believed to be his dream destination. But we all know what Barcelona really want. They want Lucho. And another report today has said that Barcelona are planning on meeting with Luis Diaz's agent soon. This said, the agent of Luis Diaz will reportedly meet with Barcelona chiefs in the United States this week to discuss a possible summer switch from Liverpool. Speculation from Colombia this week has claimed that representatives of Diaz are set to imminently meet with Barcelona chiefs in America. The Spanish have been linked with a winger for months. Now, where do you go with this? Look, I love Lucho, but as with any player, if you don't want to be here, and we don't know that he doesn't, by the way. We know he's always longed for Barcelona, and that's okay. But if they have the money and we sell, fair enough. If they don't have the money, I just hope this isn't dragged out all summer. But it looks like we have eyes on a replacement. And the replacement, well, it's quite exciting. So, Caught Offside have said that Liverpool appear to have found a replacement for Luis Diaz, who's been heavily linked with a move to Barcelona. According to Caught Offside, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for them blue balls to be no longer blue? Apparently, we've lodged an inquiry with Napoli for KVARATSKHELIA. Now, we spoke about this yesterday. KVARATSKHELIA's father and agent were very forthright and honest in saying that they want out of Napoli. And it seems to be us and PSG are the two strongest linked clubs. And I would have to say, I hope we get there ahead of PSG, obviously, because, you know, I like us and I'm not very fond of them. But if we do have to replace Diaz, Nico Williams or KVARATSKHELIA, I think most of us would be happy. Can we get a poll, Ben? Not for dancing on, that's for later. Can we get a poll for now to say, who would you prefer? Nico Williams or KVARATSKHELIA? By the way, Ben, feel free to cheat and just say Kvara, because I do that all the time. Because let's be honest, mate, trying to spell KVARATSKHELIA is not, you know, for idiots like us, bro, it's not too easy. Coach Bill has said there's too much noise from his camp, he can leave. I'd rather Lucho than him, said Mike Johnson. Look, mate, I don't think any of us want to sell Lucho. But if it's one of these situations where the player wants out, we'll have to wait and see. But I certainly don't want to lose Lucho. 27 years of age, 3 years to go on his Liverpool contract. Yes, I feel like we could do it a little bit more end product, but I do think I'd like to keep him. Because I think he's a great player, in all honesty. Craig, do you think Diaz's dad is trying to push a move to Barcelona? I haven't got a clue. I don't know. But I know one thing. Unless Barcelona can come up with the money, they need to shut up. But that's not the way the Spanish media and Barcelona or Real Madrid really operate, is it? They tend to ratchet up the pressure, lash the guilt trip on, put the whole it's now or never stuff. So let's wait and see. Let's have a look at the poll early doors anyway. It's quite close, this one. We said, who would your preferred signing be? KVARATSKHELIA. Ben's just showing off here now with the big long one. Oh, look at me. I didn't need to write Kvara. I wrote KVARATSKHELIA. I'm so great. Or Nico Williams. And 54% so far have gone for KVARATSKHELIA and 46% are gone for Nico Williams. And well played, Ben. Where's the poll? I can't see it. 'Tis at the top of the chat, sir. 'Tis at the top of the chat. Williams runs down a blind alley. KVARATSKHELIA is better one-on-one. Well, they both have pluses and flaws for me. Nico Williams, I think, has a higher ceiling than KVARATSKHELIA if he can put it all together. KVARATSKHELIA is a great player, very talented, but will he be able to continue it in the Prem? Now, he did have a pretty poor season with Napoli, but Napoli in general weren't great last season. And as his father said, they changed coach 3 times in a year, so that would probably add to the frustration or the lack of consistency from Napoli. So I'm open-minded on it. You know, I can see obviously what KVARATSKHELIA is capable of. But right now, I think both of them are a bit of a punt. I said punt, by the way, before anybody gives out to me. They both have amazing potential. I think that is very true. I'm a big fan of Williams, said Eros Thano. So am I. I've said for ages I'd like to bring Williams in if we lost somebody on the left-hand side. Nico is greedy. He wants to be the highest paid player in any team he joins. Well, I don't know if we can say that out. I don't know if that's true. I know he's been paid about €250,000 a week at Bilbao, but we've talked about the reasons for that previously. They spend a lot of their budget on wages because they don't really pay transfer fees, or at least minimal transfer fees because of the catchment area for their players. So it's not unusual to see Bilbao players get a high contract. If he moved to the Premier League, I struggle to see a world where Michael Edwards will throw 200 grand a week at him. Especially at that age. It's very unlike Liverpool. So I don't know what KVARATSKHELIA's financial demands or compensation would want to be, but I would imagine that it would whoever it is would come in at less than 200 grand a week. Mark Bell said, I'm not too bothered losing DIAZ. I think Núñez is better on the left anyway. So in my head, I think about it like this. On the left, we've got DIAZ, Gakpo, and as you've said, we can play Darwin there at a pinch. On the right, that's where I think we've got trouble. On the right, we really only have Salah and youngsters. I know people will say Szoboszlai, but I don't know. I'm never convinced them on the right. So for me, we need somebody there, and that's why I like the idea of Chiesa, because he's competition, he's cover, but he's not going to cost the earth, and he isn't the guy. So if we did lose Mo, which, by the way, we should, because I'm still going to keep saying it, sell. And did I mention sell? Sell. And if you don't think now's the time to sell him, I'm baffled. Because next summer, if he leaves for free, and we're all talking about no transfer funds for Arne Slot, we'll remember back to this summer when we had the chance to cash in, and we didn't. And add into that the fact that his form was poor for the latter part of the season, and he was recovering from injury. I just don't see how anybody believes not selling him is the right move. At this point, I don't even want an extension. At this point, I just feel like it's time to sell. And that sounds really harsh. But I've got to differentiate. Nobody's questioning what Mohamed Salah did and has done. We've spoken about this at length. What that man achieved at Liverpool will go down in folklore and history forever and isn't up for debate. He was and is a legend. It's not a debate. But football is a here and now business. And here and now, he's at the tail end of his career. And the good coaches, the ones that we, often talk about as legends, they know the right time to cash in. And if there's one little thing we've always said about Jurgen, is that potentially we feel he's been too loyal to some players who haven't maybe shown that same loyalty back. And I feel like this is the right time. Jurgen's departed. A new chapter of the football club is unfolding. Look to the future. And if somebody's giving you £100 million for a 32-year-old, take the money. Because if we don't get the money, Mo's going to get the money. And I know which one I want. I want Liverpool to have that transfer fee. Not Mohamed. I don't begrudge Mo's money, by the way. I don't want to sound like that. But somebody's going to get £100 million. He either gets it signed and on elsewhere, or we get it for a transfer fee. It's really straightforward for me. It's take the money. And I got so much stick for this last season. So much stick for saying I'd sell him at the end of this campaign. But one thing about me at this point, I say what I feel. And I love Mo, and I respect Mo, but I also feel like his best days are behind him, and it's time to move on. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen. But if it doesn't happen, I think he leaves on a free, and I think it disrupts our season. Because between now and January, all we're going to hear about is January market, pre-contracts, clubs being interested, him leaving on a free. It's going to be just a pain in the arse. Maybe Salah has an agreement with the club to let him go for free next year. I don't understand why anybody would do that, though. He doesn't need to have an agreement with the club. He can go for free next year because his contract is up. So he doesn't need to have that agreement with us. Now remember, Mr. Turki Al-Sheikh, who is, you know, a big player in all things Saudi sport, particularly boxing, I'm going to bring you back to his interview with Ariel Helwani, where he said the information that he had last year was that Mohamed Salah was ready to go, everything was ready, and Liverpool changed their mind, and that Liverpool stopped it at the last minute. So if he was willing to go last summer, and it's an if, because we didn't hear it from his mouth, but if he was willing to go last summer, he's got to be willing to go this summer. Or, I don't know. Rami Abbas is starting to do my head in, by the way, because he loves a little stupid, vague, cryptic post that doesn't really have any information in it. We all know that he has to look after Mo's interests. That's cool. That's his job. But we have to look after Liverpool's interests. And for me, our interests are best served by bringing in as much money as we can to help the new coach, the new sporting director. I want to say rebuild, because I don't feel we need a rebuild. But we have deficiencies in our squad we need to address. We need goals from our forwards, so sell Diaz as he's not prolific enough, said Mark Bell. We need goals overall, Mark, yes. Whether they come from midfield, forwards, defenders, I don't really mind as long as we win games of football. But yeah, look, Diaz does need to score more goals. That's one thing I will say. And I've already said this and I'm standing over it, but I'm backing Darwin Núñez to score 30 plus goals in all competitions next season. And I'm standing over that. As mental a prediction as that may sound to some, I believe he's going to do it.